my full body mobility inspired yoga flow. We are going to have a lot of hip openers, but we're also going to work into the shoulders and the wrists a good amount. My name is Lisa P. Thanks for moving with me. If you like the video and find value in it, please like and subscribe. We're going to start in a child's pose. So take the knees as wide as the mat, draw the big toes together, reach the arms out ahead of you, and relax the forehead down. Take a couple nice big deep breaths. Full inhales, fully filling up the belly, the chest, the upper collarbones. And exhale, press everything out, getting rid of any of that stale air sitting in the bottom of your lungs and just replenishing it with fresh new air. The next inhale, reach the fingertips forward and try to lengthen the spine. Sending the sit bones back. We're going to walk the hands over to the right side. A variation that I like to take is bringing the right hand towards the right shoulder, pressing into that right side and dialing the left shoulder down towards the ground. And when you're ready, we're just going to switch it out to the other side. Feel free to take that variation if you did it on the other side. Breathing into that right side body. Coming back through to center, just rock the head left and right. Rising up into our tabletop, we're going to take a couple cat-cows. Starting with cow, drop the belly low, fully extend the spine, arching it as much as possible, and then tucking the chin into the chest and rounding full flexion. So moving back and forth between these two postures, being really dramatic with the movement, trying to get into each vertebrae. Allow the breath and the movement to flow together. And we'll move into a dancing lion. So just spinning the hips around in a big circle. This is free organic movement. It looks a little funny, but it feels really nice. You can slow down at a spot that feels tight or sticky, moving in the opposite direction if you haven't already. Nice big deep breaths. Reaching the right arm up towards the sky. We're going to take a couple big circles with this right arm. So working range of movement in that shoulder joint. You want to reach the arm up as high and as wide as it'll go. Your next circle, just move directions. You can play with wrist movement and allow the gaze to follow the fingertips. Bring the hand to the back of the head. We're going to crunch the elbow down towards the wrist. For 3, for 2, and last 1. Reaching the arm up towards the sky, thread the needle, relax the head all the way down. You can stay right here. You can take the left arm towards the top of the mat. You can walk it over towards the right and look up under the armpit. Bringing that hand back by the face, pressing to the arm, open the chest, and we're just going to switch it out and do the other side. The left arm comes up, big circles with that left arm. Inhale, the arm comes up. Exhale, it comes down and around. Moving into the opposite direction. The next inhale, reach the hand behind the head, open the elbow, and then crunch elbow to wrist. We have 3 on this side. As you open, I want you to think you're opening through the chest and squeezing the back. Don't just pull back on the elbow, that's going to strain your shoulder joint. Thread the needle, relax the head all the way down. Again, you can stay right here or take the other variations, reaching the arm up and over. over. Bringing that hand back by the face, press into it, and moving into our puppy pose. So you can slide the hands out and just melt the chest down towards the ground. So maybe your forehead comes down, maybe your chin, maybe your chest. Coming down onto our bellies, we're going to move into Cobra. Press down through the feet, engage the back to lift. The hands are going to float this first round. Draw the shoulders down and the elbows in. Gaze up. Round 2, same. Press down to the feet, engage, rise. This time press 20% of the weight into your hands. Exhale, lower down. This time walk the hands back, and you can press into the hands a little bit more to rise up. And rolling down, we're going to move into our pec stretch. Take both the arms out to the sides in a big T. Walk the left fingertips up a few inches, bring the right hand under the right shoulder, bend the right knee, and press into that right side, rolling onto the left. Keep that left arm exactly where it is. Make sure it didn't move at all. You should feel a nice stretch along the left pec. Rolling down, we're just going to switch it out. Reach that right arm out to the side, walk it up a few inches, bend the left knee, press into that left hand, roll into the right side. Bringing both the hands under the shoulders, just press back up into our tabletop. We're going to take clock walks. So dialing the hands in a circle, shifting your weight from the left wrist to the right. And when you dial both the fingertips back, just rock forward and back. Take little baby circles, just stretching out those wrists. Tuck the toes under, sit back on the feet. Interlace the hands, press the palms forward and round the spine. Inhale, reach up and extend through the spine. Reaching over to the left, press the hips to the right. And switch it out, other side, reach over to the right. Uninterlacing the fingertips. We're going to take wrist rolls. So bring the backs of the hands together and you just roll the fingertips towards you and then away from you. Imagine there's a hair tie holding your wrists together and you're just rolling the wrists around and move in the opposite direction. Bring the hands back down to tabletop. You can pat out the feet a little bit. And we're going to work our way into a down dog. Drop the weight from left foot to right. And we're just going to walk it all the way up into that forward fold. Once you get to the top, you can grab opposite elbows. Have a nice soft bend in the knees and think about shifting the weight forward in the toes. Relax the neck. Let the head hang heavy. You can sway left and right. And just kind of letting gravity work on your spine. It works against it all day. Relaxing the hands down. On the inhale, we're going to halfway lift, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Nice big inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, finding space in that low back, and then folding into it. Bend the knees deeply so the chest and the thighs meet. We're going to roll up to standing 1 vertebrae at a time. Your head is the very last thing to lift. When you get to the top, just roll the shoulders out a few times. Big circles, moving in that back direction. And we'll just switch. So moving forward, down and back. The next inhale, reach the arms up overhead, press the hips forward, reach back. Exhale, swan dive down, nice flat back, hinge at the hips and fold forward. We're gonna step the left foot back one big step so the right foot's forward. Take a lunge, twist, that left hand plants, the right arm lifts. Make sure the knee is stacking right over the ankle. Option to drop the back knee if you'd like. Bringing that right hand down, drop the left knee down towards the ground, and we're gonna work into our low lunge. So think about tucking the tailbone under and then leaning forward. You should feel a nice stretch along the front of the left leg in the hip flexor. Bringing both the hands down towards the ground, shift the hips back for a half split. You can flex the toes up towards the sky if you want a little bit more, and try to keep the hips angled towards the front of the mat. Moving back between these two postures, we're gonna add a little bit of movement. So tuck the tailbone under, lean forward. This time we're gonna take the left arm up and reach it over towards the right. Again, bringing both the hands down, shift the hips back into that half split. This time, just rock the toes to the left and the right. Coming back to that low lunge, we're gonna walk the toes out to the right a bit. So think the legs are in like a 1 o'clock stance. Keep the hips angled forward and bend into that knee. So don't let the hips just drop over towards the right, towards the bent leg. Try to keep them angled forward so we're really opening up in the hip. Heel toe the foot out a little bit more, so now we're at a 2 o'clock. Same thing, bend into the knee, but try to keep the hips angled forward. Rising back up, kick that leg out to the side, plant the blade of the foot down, and we're just gonna rock back and forth. Should be a nice stretch on that inner thigh. And just moving into more of a passive stretch, you can slide that foot as far away from the body as what feels comfortable. Walk the hands to support you. And then we're gonna heel toe that foot back in and just kick that leg straight back. So squaring off the hips, angle the hip down towards the ground and flex the foot. Crunch the knee in towards the nose, take it out towards the side and then straight back. All the way up, all the way out, and all the way back. Really slow and controlled movements here. And moving into the opposite direction, kick the leg back as high as it'll go, take it out to the side, and then as far up towards your elbow as it'll go. 3 circles in this direction. Taking a dancing lion, just spinning the hips around a big circle, wiggling that out. And we're gonna work our way into a down dog. So tuck the toes under and lift the hips. We're gonna bend the knees deeply into our turbo dog. So think about lengthening the spine, sending the sit bones up towards the sky, pressing the armpits back towards the ankles. Walk the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat and forward fold. Reaching back to grab the ankles, bend the knees deeply so that the chest and the thighs meet. Play with trying to straighten out the legs and keeping the chest down, and then relaxing and bending in the knees a bit. See if you can find a little bit of length in the hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the spine. Plant the hands down. This time the right foot steps back. Lunge, twist. Left hand lifts, right arm plants. Left hand comes down, right knee drops down. Inhale, rise up. Low lunge, tuck the tailbone under and sink the weight forward and low. Half split, shift the hips back, fold over that left leg. Flex the toes up towards the sky. You can keep a soft bend in this left knee as well. Bending back into the knee, low lunge. This time we're going to add the twist. So the right arm reaches up towards the sky and then over towards the left side. Bringing both the hands down, shift back into that half split. This time, rock the toes left and right. Bending in that front knee. Heel toe the foot over to the left. Again, keeping the hips forward. Sink the weight low into that left knee. Heel toe the foot to a clock. Bending in that knee. And then kicking the leg out to the side. Rock back and forth for that inner thigh stretch. Slide that left leg away from the body. And then heel toe it back in. Kick the left leg straight back. Angle the hips down towards the ground. Big circles with this left knee. Draw the knee all the way up, all the way out, and then all the way back. 3 circles in this direction. Nice, slow, and controlled movements. And moving in the opposite direction, kick the legs straight back, out to the side, and then all the way up. So taking the knees hip distance apart, draw the big toes together. Sink the hips back and plant the hands down on the ground. We're going to do some glute rocks. So just rocking forward and back, I want you to extend through the upper back. So try to press the chest forward. And as you lift the hips, think about engaging the glutes as the hips rise. Our glutes are often a very underutilized muscle, and we want to add that mind-body connection. So now as we rise up, we're going to take the feet out wide and draw them back in and lower the hips down. Adding a little bit of internal rotation to the hips as we rise up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Shift the weight forward, high plank. The distance between your hands and your feet in down dog and high plank should be the same. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Flowing back and forth between these two postures a few times. Drop the knees down, lower all the way down onto your belly, rise up cobra or full up dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Bringing the big toes together, the right foot lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip, and you can roll out that ankle a little bit if you'd like. We're going to rise up high on the ball of the left foot. Draw the right knee in towards the nose. Exhale, kick it up. Right knee comes towards the right arm. Exhale, kick it up. Right knee comes across the body to the left side. And kick it up. This time we're going to step the foot to the outside of both hands for a lizard lunge. So you can slide that left foot back, rock the hips forward and back, making some space for the hips. Drop the left knee down and take a couple nice big deep breaths here. Try to melt the chest down to the floor. Maybe you lower down onto the forearms. Keeping the foot planted on the mat, press the right knee away from the body. Bring it back in and then press again. Bring it back in, and this time we're going to roll into the outer blade of the foot and drop the right knee out towards the right. I like to add a little twist, bringing my right hand to my right knee and looking back. Drawing that knee back up through to center. You can plant the left hand down onto the mat. We're going to heel toe the right foot all the way over to the left side and just drop the knee down. Moving into our pigeon on the right side. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. You can allow the foot to draw in towards the left hip. Inhale, rise up, walk the hands back, tucking the toes under and scooting the knee forward a few times. And then when you're ready, kick that right leg out and just wiggle out that leg a little bit. Sometimes that pigeon stretch can be really intense on the knees. Really settling into our down dog, trying to lengthen out the back side of the body and the hamstrings without compromising the nice long spine. Take a big breath in through the nose and a vocal exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Big toes come together. This time the left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. You can roll out the ankle a little bit. We're going to rise up high onto the ball of that right foot. Crunch the left knee in towards the nose. Hold. Exhale, kick it up. Left knee, left arm. Try to keep that knee as high up as you can. Exhale, kick it up. Cross the body over to the right. Kick it up. This time we step the foot to the outside of both hands. Lower the hips down. Drop the back knee. And try to press the chest forward. Maybe you lower down onto the forearms. Again, pressing out onto that left knee. So keeping the left foot planted on the ground, press the left knee as far away from the body as it'll go. Draw it back in. Exhale, press out. Inhale, back in. And on this last one, we're going to roll onto the outer blade of the foot to get a little bit more of a stretch. You can bring the left hand to the left knee, dropping that left knee out as far as it'll go. Drawing that knee back up into the body, heel toe that foot all the way over to the right side. Sit up nice and tall and exhale, fold. Nice big deep breaths for this passive stretch. On the inhale, we're gonna rise up, walk the hands back. We're gonna shift the weight over into the left side and just swing that right leg around. You can wiggle the legs out a little bit. We're gonna move into our 90-90. So bring your front shin parallel with the front of the mat and our back thigh parallel with the front shin and the top of the mat. Both the legs are at 90-degree angles. We're gonna keep our heels grounded and lift the knees up and over to the other side. You can keep the hands back behind you for support. And we're just gonna go back and forth between the left and the right. Taking our legs out nice and wide, scoot the hips as forward as they'll go, flex the feet up towards the sky, and with a nice flat back, fold forward. Just go as far as you need to go to get that nice deep stretch on the inner thigh and the back of the hamstrings. Drawing the feet together, take the knees out wide. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. I like to grab my feet and pull my upper body down. We're going to slide around towards the front of our mat. Extend the legs out long. Keep a nice deep bend in the knees. And we're just going to fold forward, bringing the chest to the thighs again. Relax the head down. As you relax here, maybe you can find some length and scoot the heels out away from you a little bit further, keeping the chest on the thighs. Roll all the way up and all the way back. Take the feet as wide as the mat and just drop the knees from left to right. We're going to slide the right leg all the way on top of the left. Pick the hips up, move them an inch to the right, drop both the knees to the left. Take the arms out in a big T and gaze to the right. Spinal twist. Rising the head up, rise both the knees up, uninterlace the legs, hug the knees into the chest, and just rock left and right. Little decompression on that low spine should feel nice. So just switching it out to the other side, the left knee stacks on top of the right. Pick the hips up, move them an inch to the left, drop both the knees to the right. Reach the arms out in a big T and gaze to the left. I like to think about spinal twists like wringing out a rag. So your head is moving in one direction and your hips are moving in a different direction. Whenever you feel even, you can rise the head, uninterlace the legs, and draw the knees into the chest. Moving into our inversion, you can just extend the feet up towards the sky. You can grab behind the thighs for support if you'd like. Just wiggle out the toes, point and flex, roll out the ankles. You can stay right here or move into a fountain of youth with me. Drawing the elbows tight into the body, shift the weight forward so that you can get your hands under your hips. Place the weight back into your hands and dump all the way into the elbows. Lengthen through the neck and bring the body into a 90-degree angle. Slowly rolling down, we're going to move into a happy baby. So grabbing the outer blades of the feet, take the knees out wide. Think about flexing the feet so that they're going to touch the sky. You can take the peace fingers to the big toes if you prefer, or grab onto the ankles. I like to play with trying to get my low back down onto the ground, and I like to rock left and right. Draw the soles of the feet together and just plant the feet down onto the mat. Bring one hand to the chest and one to the belly, and just breathe. We're going to take 5 nice big deep breaths all together. So exhale wherever you are. Nice big inhale, fully filling up the belly, the chest, the upper collarbones. Exhale, press it all out. Nice big inhale, slow and steady breathing. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, nice big inhale. And we're going to hold the breath at the top. So close the back of the throat, relax the body. Exhale, let it all go. And hold the breath at the bottom. Relax the shoulders, relax the face, relax the chest. And just allowing the breath to come back to its normal rhythm. Noticing the heart beating in the chest and the blood pulsing through your stomach. Just being in touch with your body for a moment. Our bodies do so much for us day in and day out. Just give it a moment to rest. You can stay right here or extend the legs out for our final pose, Shavasana. Allowing the feet to just flop open to either side and the hands to come by the sides, palms facing up. And just finding some stillness here. Relax the mind. If it wanders off, just bring it back to the breath, back to the body. And just lengthening the breath, wiggling the fingertips and the toes, bringing a little bit of life back to the body. You can reach the arms overhead like a good morning stretch, pointing the toes. And just roll into your side in the fetal position. Just taking one last moment to really absorb your practice. We're going to rise up into a comfortable seated position with the eyes closed and the hands to prayer position. And just take a moment here to have a couple thoughts of gratitude for your body and all that it does for you day in and day out. The good in me honors, respects, and supports the good in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, guys.